Good evening and Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday and a great Christmas. I know I did. My family got a chance to get away and have some fun. My little 5-year-old never seen the snow, so we took her out west and let her live the good life in the snow. And she just had an amazing time. So I hope all of you had the same kind of holiday. And hey, it's 2017. And I hope if you're just half as excited as I am, and I think most of you must be because of what's happened here during the past month. And it's been really, really something. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the numbers. And for example, in December, I had no idea this would happen because, I've come from this industry 45 years in the networking world. And the month of December is just a terrible month. It's a month that everybody takes off, nobody works. Everything comes to a kind of a screeching halt, and that's just normal. Everybody accepts it. Not here, not the good life. We actually doubled during the month of December our total IBO base. This is amazing. During the month of December should be the slowest month of the year. Matter of fact, the last 3 days of December were the best 3 days we've ever had since we started the good life. So guys, thank you. This is going to pay off and obviously in big financial rewards for all of you because of what's happening. I sit there and I look at, for example, the number of cards. This is what we're all talking about here. But when you look at the number of cards that are now out there in the field, it is staggering. I mean, when we launched this 3 months ago, the VIP Club card, we had no idea that it was going to be this big. And as a matter of fact, it's changed my whole thinking about what's going to happen with this company in 2017. I mean, I thought, realistically, by the end of the year, we'd have 150,000 cards out, which would be fantastic. Well, that's not the case. We're at 900,000, approaching 1 million cards already. Now, you got to kind of put that in perspective, guys, what that actually means to you. And I think this is real important because it doesn't matter if 25% of these cards get used. And I think it's going to be a lot higher than that, particularly when we start our email campaigns to let people know, hey, you got a card. Did you use it? Did you know how much money you could save by using this card? Look at the hotel deals we have for you now. All that's going to start to happen. But look at what happens with 1 million cards. Do you realize that could generate as much as $150 million back to you, the IBOs, just from this first 1 million cards? Now, again, we haven't even started 2017. What do you think is going to happen now and this was done with a base of about 1,200 IBOs. Now we're at 2,400 IBOs, growing at a rate we've never seen before. The cards are going out at a level we can't keep up with. As a matter of fact, we just placed our first 1 million card order. I mean, we thought we'd be doing like 100,000 cards a month, and then growing and be wonderful. This would be a great little company and having great success and everybody would be happy. Well, obviously, you guys hadn't thought the same way that we were thinking because you've taken it to a whole different level. As a matter of fact, because of what's happened already, and with some of the things I'm going to be talking about tonight, I actually believe that we can become the fastest growing network marketing company of all times in 2017. And I'm not saying that lightly. I say that being very, very humble, but everything is just making it possible to happen because, again, this has been a game changer unlike anything I have ever seen in my entire life. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the things that are going on because I know there's a lot of questions out there going into the new year about, what to expect and what's going to be happening and what events are going to be going on. So I'm just going to kind of go through this and make sure I cover everything. Number one I want to talk about was the shipping of the IBO kits. I know a lot of people are saying, where's my, before nobody even paid any attention. They didn't get their IBO kit right away. Now everybody wants it yesterday, but that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So we are working around the clock to get all the IBO kits caught up. We're not quite there yet. We're getting close. We are also looking at probably taking our shipping outside the company to a big fulfillment center, someplace that we can make sure that we're keeping up with this at the pace that we're growing. So it's kind of outgrown what we can do here, but we can continue it for another month or two. But again, we're going to an outside fulfillment house to be able to make sure we keep up with this growth from the standpoint of the IBO kits and the cards and the other peripheral things that we're going to be making available here in January. So again, we're almost caught up. We're still a little behind, but we're getting there. Next question, and I'm getting a lot from a lot of people, is what's going on with the new program and the hotel site. Now, this is probably the most frustrating thing for all of us, and me included, that we haven't been able to launch this program as quickly as we thought, because it's just a lot bigger than what we thought. Again, if you go back to what we expected to have happen back in December, we thought, okay, we're going to get 150,000 cards. We're going to probably not get much growth and everything's fine. But all of a sudden, things are just taking off, which is great. And we were building for that kind of a future. We just didn't expect it to happen so quickly. So now we've got programmers working around the clock. We've got a whole group of programmers working on trying to finish this program for all you guys. But let me tell you what will happen when it's done. And I'm actually looking at the first kind of complete presentation of our software next week. I'm actually taking a look at it with all of our in-house folks. A few days after that, if we like what we see, we're going to allow some of the top IBOs to take a look at it and see how it works. Let them play with it and look at it, and then we'll make some massages to it. And obviously, understand, no matter what we launch here in January, it's going to be constantly being changed and improved upon it, because we're never going to be happy. I don't care how great it is. I think that's one of the greatest things to make a successful company is you got to always have that kind of that happy discontent. That it's just not good enough. And so we are looking at building a program here that is going to be beyond anything I think most people can even imagine, because we are in a position with this new programming to grow at a rate that will never allow anybody to have to worry about slowing down. I mean, the whole idea with this new programming is, number one, to be able to give you the ability to look in your back office at every person that you hand a card to. You'll be able to know when they activate. You're going to be able to know when they're using the card. You're going to be able to know when you're going to get paid on that card. And I think that's an important tool for everybody to have. And obviously, you can imagine when you start sharing that with other people. Like, for example, I was talking to an email. I actually didn't talk to Gary, but I got an email from him about he got his first check with the VIP Club cards, and it was fantastic. And he said, man, he said in the email he's talking about, this is great. He said, because I look at the money and I said, this is really wonderful. He said, but I can't wait till I can show it to people so they can see how real it is, because it makes it real when you can actually go into your back office and see what's happening with this VIP Club card. So that's all in the works. Obviously, you'll have that. You're going to have your IBO team trees, all in one. You're going to have all the outside teams move back in. You'll be able to see that. For those of you that are building, know this, it's going to really help your income jump, because those that have been really building, it's going to reflect that, because when you move these outside teams back in, they're all going to come back under you, and whatever people they've built and grown are coming back underneath of you. So those that are working, your income's going to go up. Now, those that have been kind of riding the gravy train and doing nothing, just saying, well, this is so cool, I don't have to do anything, well, your income's probably going to go down a little bit. But that's up to you. You can fix that in a hurry by just going to work and getting active and getting involved in what's going on here. And I think most of the people, when they see what's getting ready to happen here, are going to get real busy. Okay, so that's what happens with the IBO team trees. Now, the legacy tree. The legacy tree, I don't think everybody still quite grasps how big that's really going to be and how important that is to you. And again, let's go back to what I just said about these cards right here. 150 million, in dollars, represented by what cards are out there right now. My guess is at the rate we're going, we could be at 5 to 10 million cards by the end of the year. Now, I think that's a ridiculous number, but again, if we kept going at the rate we're going, it'd be a much higher number. But let's not get too crazy. So let's say 5 to 10 million cards out there by the end of 2017. Well, think about what money that's $150 times 10 million. I don't even know what that is. I can't even do it. John, what is that?
I don't have that many zeros.
I don't even know what that is. I think it's probably over $1 billion. I think it's $1 billion, and I think it might be $1,500,000,000. I think it is, but I'm not really sure. I didn't really do the math beforehand. I just know it's a huge number. And guys, if you understand the legacy tree, you know how much money is going to be going, from these VIP Club cards into that legacy tree. And remember, there's never going to be more than probably 20 to 25% of all the people that are in the business that'll ever qualify and get into the legacy tree. Because a lot of people just don't get it. They'll go out and they'll get one person and let it build, and they'll take their check and they'll be happy. Or maybe they'll just have a couple people that's silver, and they don't really get the fact of what happens if they qualify and get into this legacy tree. Because once you're in there, all that money is going to be shared by that handful of people that'll ever be in the legacy tree. Now, as we go worldwide, of course, there's going to be, literally hundreds of thousands and millions of people in the legacy tree. but who cares? Because the numbers just get more staggering and bigger and bigger. So I hope everybody starts to get the idea of what's going to happen with their team tree and their legacy tree, the VIP club cards. As a matter of fact, we were looking at John sitting in here with me. We were looking at and this is really cool. We were looking at our rating, our rating here in the United States. When I'm talking about the amount of internet traffic that we now have at the Good Life. Now you got to put this in perspective. When we started, I think there's approximately, nobody knows the exact number, but around 400 million sites in the United States. Well, obviously, when we started, we were probably down there around 400 millionth place, right? Because we just started. And so after we launched the company, because we got something that's a very interesting concept to people, our interest in traffic started growing. Well, it really exploded during the last part of this year. As a matter of fact, in December, we were already up to 49,000. That was we reached a ranking of 49,000 out of 400 million sites. That's how high we got. And guys, that was above just about everybody that's in our industry. I'm talking about companies out there like, for example, World Ventures that's doing, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. They've been around forever doing this. Our ranking was higher. And now, in the last 30 days, it's jumped another 20,000 positions. We've gone from 49,000 to 31,000. That's a 6% gain in our position and rank. Well, what does that mean? That means that everybody's taking a look at what we're doing here at the Good Life. That's an unbelievable sign. I mean, we're the #1 ranked site for anything to do with travel. Guys, that's amazing. We've only been in business less than a year, really got our growth going in less than 3 months ago with this VIP club card. And now we're going into 2017 with a bang. So just get prepared. You guys are doing something right out there, and you're creating amazing excitement. And I just want to share a couple other things with you tonight, too. There's just so much going on. I just heard from Wendell. He just got back from a cruise. The only reason I'm sharing this is because think about what he did. He handed out 200 VIP club cards on a little cruise ship that he went on. I don't know how big it was, but Carnival, it's not little. But he handed out 200 cards. Think what that does for a business when you do something like that. I mean, if 20% of the people sign up from that, I mean, more than that's going to use the card, but say 20% become IBOs. Oh my gosh, that's 40 IBOs personally enrolled by Wendell. Well, guys, if you understand this industry, people don't get more than 3 or 4 people ever. People in this business are going to be getting 10, 20, 50, 100,000. There's not going to be any limits. So one of the things that Wendell said, which I think is true, hey, you might want to try to get on some cruises this year. What a great place to hand out VIP club cards. Along that line, one of the things I want to talk about is we're going to be coming out with 4 tremendous corporate dream destinations this year for people to go to. So if you're building this business, and with all the things you're going to be doing, most of you that are building are going to probably go for free, or you're going to go for very, very little money, but you're going to be able to go all over the world this year, at least 4 major events somewhere in the world where we get together as a group and we share ideas and concepts and we do unbelievable training and seminars, but we're going to do it in a dream destination. Not going to do it just in a building or an office spot or a hotel somewhere. We're going to go someplace special and have a lot of fun and let the world find out about what we're doing here at the Good Life. Which brings me to the next point, international expansion. Everybody's been talking about when can we start going outside the U.S. Well, we haven't started here, guys. I mean, come on, 2,300 IBOs, that's nothing. Now, I know we're going to go to 10,000 or 100,000 or whatever we're going to go to this year in the United States. But yes, we just finished everything that is required for us to be able to go international. In other words, we had to go through a compliance process because you have to be compliant when you start taking money and giving money in all parts of the world. We've completed that process. We are compliant. We're all integrated and ready to go. So yes, we're going to start opening countries, but we're going to wait until everything is right here. We're going to make sure that our programming is working perfectly. We're shipping IBO kits on time. All the things I'm talking about have to be taken care of here in the next 30 to 60 days before we start going out wildly to other countries. Now, we are going to be looking at Canada probably sometime in late January or early February because we've got so many people up there that are ready to go, and a lot of people have been signing up. So that will be the first country we'll go ahead and open. We'll probably test it for 30 days or so, make sure everything's working perfectly there. And then we're going to start opening countries. And when we start opening countries, you've got to understand, again, this legacy tree, You're sitting at the top. That's a one world genealogy. I can't ever say that big enough. I always sit there and go, do you know what it means to be fortunate enough to be at the foundation of this legacy tree that's going to be there for a lifetime, and everybody in the world that joins it, they're going to be underneath of you. You're going to benefit from that. I mean, you don't get those kind of chances too often. So, take advantage of it. That's all I can tell you. I've said it so many times. When I look at somebody and I go look at the IBO thing and I go, oh my gosh, they're not in the legacy tree yet. I guess they don't believe it. I guess they don't. Well, I told you again. I hope you take advantage of the legacy tree, guys. Okay, so what else have I got for you tonight? Let's see. I've covered, the Good Life bus. If you haven't seen the pictures, we're going to be putting up more. The Good Life bus is going to be out there. We're going to start that campaign of taking that bus all over the United States this year. We're going to be doing events, meetings all over with the beautiful Good Life bus. It's all wrapped. It's going to be the coolest, funnest thing to take across the country, and we'll start showing you more and more of that in the coming weeks. As a matter of fact, it will make its inaugural ride January the 10th, because remember, that's going to be our first big meeting here outside of Boca this year, January 10th over in Tampa. It was in your email today. If you've got anybody within a couple hundred miles of Tampa, you might want to get into that event. It's going to be probably be the biggest event we've had, to date. Speaking of events, we're going to have one here in Boca this Thursday. Now, obviously, the Boca events aren't as big because we're just in this market here, and we've got IBOs all over the United States, but it is growing. And obviously, if you want to see some of the new things we're doing, you might want to be here this coming Thursday at 7:30. That being said, the last thing I have, I think I've covered everything. Oh, I want to share with you our new business presentation. Now, obviously, one of the things that's happened with this VIP Club card is it is a tremendous tool for customer appreciation. And we have got businesses all across the country wanting to get this VIP Club card and get it into their businesses. So what we've created for you is a very simple PowerPoint that you can use, and it'll be available, John, I guess it'll be up tomorrow. It'll be up on the website tomorrow. So you can start using this business presentation. Now, all you've got to do is talk to a business owner, hand them this card for right now, and say, we've got something that you might want to take a look at that not only will say thank you to all your customers, but will benefit you financially as well. And you take 2 seconds to explain that to somebody, to a business owner, they're going to want to say, when can we sit down and let me see this presentation? So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys this presentation very quickly. All right, where are we at here? Let's see, I got to go to share screen. This is a cool presentation too, guys. It's simple and short. It's only going to take about 5 minutes here, but you're going to love it. And let me bring it up here. Share screen, hold on. Get it up here. Okay, how do I go full screen on this here, right here? Where are we at, John? View right here. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure I get this. Slideshow. That's it. Okay. All right, guys. Here it is. This is the new presentation that you can do in the form of a PowerPoint that you can use to share with somebody. Now, I'm just going to go through this quickly. I'm not going to go into actually presenting it. I just want you guys to see the slides and how this thing works. So you're sitting down with a business owner. Obviously, it just says GoodLife USA Business Program. Here's how it works. First, we introduce the Ultimate Appreciation Program, right? Next thing that happens is, as you go through the slides, you show them the appreciation with a gift worth $200 in travel savings, something for all their customers. And, of course, the cool thing about it, no strings, no gimmicks, no commitments. It's simple. Then, obviously, you go to this top part where we talk about how unique this is. It's not available to the public. Over 950,000 hotels and resorts worldwide. Then you show them, look, the customer saves. When they use this card, they save $200. Oh, by the way, Mr. Business Owner, you save $100. Now, again, understand, guys, I'm not doing the presentation here. I just want you guys to see it. When you take the time, you need to take the time when you're giving this presentation to really talk about this, because this is amazing. I mean, customer appreciation programs like this don't exist. I mean, when a company usually has a customer appreciation program, it costs them money. It costs them money. It doesn't make them money. This program makes them money, and not just a little bit. I mean, for some people, this program might make them more money than their business makes them. And that's not a joke. So this is a pretty impressive program. Then we show them how we do it, obviously in this slide, and you go talk about that. Then we introduce the card here, as you can see it opening up. And we talk about what it does for prospect conversion, for customer appreciation, lead generation, their brand awareness, because remember, they can also co-brand this card. Then what we do is we show them the video very quickly. This is just a customer experience. This is the actual video that plays that explains what happens when a person first, activates and uses the cards.
Welcome to GoodLife USA. We're so glad you're here to activate your free $200 VIP club card. You're about to start living the good life, which means that you'll never pay retail for a hotel again. Once your card is activated, you'll save money on hundreds of thousands of hotels and resorts, and some of the best brands in the world. Start living the good life now. Just follow the simple instructions to activate your card.
So imagine this, the person gets the card, that's what they see. It's a warm, friendly video. It gets the person excited, and they're out using the card. Now, obviously, the next thing you show the business owner is, okay, that they get the card. This is the amount of money that they make. It shows the savings, what happens when the card holder saves, and it'll generate back to their company. Then it goes in and gives them an example of what happens if you get just a customer base of 1,000 club cards and 100. And then we talk about how we can do it together with a co-branding program. And then we show them the logo here for programming. And then it's very simply, how do you want to get started and how many do you want to order? And guess what, guys? Whether it's co-branded or they want to use the standard card, here's their price sheet. There's not hardly any. I really can't imagine when a business owner sees this, him saying, no, I don't want to thank my customers. I don't want them to save money. I don't want to make money. I just don't see this happening. Do you? And so I think this is going to be an amazing tool. And I also yet to realize that when a business owner, does this, he automatically becomes an IBO. Now, maybe he's a non-networking guy. He doesn't want to do the networking side. He just loves the business deal. But I will tell you one thing. As an owner of a business, if all of a sudden he starts seeing, wait a minute, 20% of these people are signing up and becoming an IBO, and now they're handing out cards, and they're creating income back to me that's even more than I got from giving out my cards. And, oh, by the way, those 20% of those IBOs are now signing up other business owners, which I'm making money on. Can you imagine a business owner going, no, I'm not going to make money on that. No. Of course they're going to. And so all of a sudden, we're going to have a whole new world here in this industry of non-networking business owners doing this and loving every second of it. Because guess what? It's an easy program that everybody can do, everybody gets, everybody understands. There is nothing like this on the planet right now, guys. So again, take advantage of this. Let me get back out of that, and I'm going to close up here tonight. Oh, wow. I just love this company. I love this business. I really do. I get so, I went away for a week to be with my family and went snow skiing and everything, and it was fun. Right? I kept thinking about the good. I'm saying how much fun I'm having here because I know how special it is for everybody that's getting involved. I just know how much it's going to change people's lives. I know what it's going to be like when we start traveling all over the world together and going to all these beautiful dream destinations and doing it year in and year out and then watching this thing grow from country to country, just like we're growing here. I mean, what a fun business to be in. And so for the people you introduce it to, you have to take that approach too, that this is going to be the greatest opportunity in the world for them, and they're going to have so much fun doing it. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Welcome to 2017. I appreciate everybody being on this call tonight. Thursday night, I guess we're going to do it as a live webinar or not? We're going to try to do it as a live webinar? Yeah. Okay, it never works out quite the way we want, but we're going to do it. We'll do a live webinar that can be broadcast so everybody in their home that can't be here in Boca can watch it. But you guys understand it's never quite perfect because it's live and everything's not exactly the way we like it to be, but it's still going to be fun. So if you're going to join us, be here Thursday night, either through the live webinar format or here in person. Look forward to seeing as many of you as possible in Tampa next week. And with that being said, God bless everybody and to a happy new year. And let's make 2017 the most spectacular year of all of our lives. Good night, everybody.